So today we will be seeing the post-contest discussions of weekly contest 361 of Leetcode. I was able to attempt only the two questions, so I'll be telling the solutions for those two. So yeah, let's go. First is count symmetric integers. The basic logic that I applied is that if we just convert, or first we need to check that if the given string of numbers is divisible by 2 or not, because if that would not be divisible by 2, so for example, if I had an integer supposingly 3, 2 and 1, and that is not divisible by 2, that is not divisible by 2, if its size is not divisible by 2, so for that I just checked remainder modulus 2. If it is not equals to 0, then yeah, for sure that is not divisible by 2, and if that is not divisible by 2, then I am pretty much sure that we cannot consider this, because this requires a number to be of size of 2 times n. So far so good. Yeah. Now if our number is of size 2 times n, then we need to go and check that whether the first half sum is equals to the second half sum or not. Okay, the sum present in this half, in the half number 1, if it that is equals to the sum present in the half number 2, and for that just a basic for loop, I just converted my given number into a string so that I can get its size, and then I iterated over its size by 2, added it in half 1, my half 1 here and my half 2 is here. So first half I added it in my half 1 portion, that is it, and the second half I added it in my half 2 portion. If those two are equal, then please do return uh, the given integer, because yeah, that was it, and that is the answer, because if their sum is equal, then our given integer is a perfect number, or whatever they might be saying it. Okay, let me just scroll it up. They said that if the number is, yeah, symmetric number, if that is a symmetric number, then please do return that number. If they are half, if the h1 half is equal to the h2 half, then please do return their size, or that number, that means that is equal. And if that is not equal, then we have to return a -1, because that is also the case. That means our first half was not equal to the second half, and that is it. If the if our function had returned, if our function had returned, just wait a minute, if our function had returned, if our function had returned -1, that means that we have not received a number whose first and second halves were equal. So please do continue iterating over rest other numbers, and if that had returned a integer that was not -1, that means we are good to go, and we should just push back that number into our resultant vector, and there is my resultant vector. I had taken long because the range was given raised to the power 4, so that is why I took long, and that is it for the discussion. I hope that is clear, basic. Okay. Yeah, so let me just erase it, and let us move on to the next portion, or the next question. Let me just erase it. Yeah, the next question. Yeah, please wait, please wait. Let me just erase it, and this and this and this and this and this. Yeah, so let's move on to the next question. Back to contest. Okay, so minimum operations to make a special number. So what shall we do? I think you all are aware with the question, so I just need to explain the logic behind what I did. That is a pretty much big answer that I implemented. So what I did is, just bear with me for a moment. Just bear with me. Uh, to get a number that is divisible by 25, I am sure that I need to get only these four. Sorry, only these four integers as my last numbers. If they are my last numbers, 00, 25, 50, and 75. If they are my last numbers, then that is it. I can convert my given number into a number that is divisible by 25. Okay, so what I did for whole of my number, that is num given to me, that was num given to me, this num, this one, what I did is, firstly I am just going and finding each pair, like 0 0 if it is that is there, 25 if that is there, 50 if that is there, and 75 if that is there present in my string or not. Okay, so I went ahead. So char take 0 1, char take 25 1, 25 51, 75 1. What are they? Actually, I'm just taking the first character. So if I have take 0 1, then that takes the first 0. Okay, the first 0, this one, and then it goes on to my string and checks for the second 0. If I am able to find the both of the zeros, then take 0 1 would be carrying the index of the first 0, and take 0 2 would be carrying the index of the second 0. Similarly for 25, firstly I am finding 2. If 2 is found, then I am going and finding 5. They are both index. Now I am having they are both index in I and in j. Now if I am having they are both index, then I am satisfied. I just append it in my take 25 first character and take 25 second character. Similarly for 50, similarly for 75, first and second. Okay, now if I am having their indexes, like for example, if I am having an integer 2 3 7 0 4 5 and 8. Okay, and for now just let us do it, because if supposingly my number, this is num, okay, this is my num. If my num is divisible by 25, for that it has to see whether I am having my last digit as 75, 25, 0 0 or 50. We can see that none of the cases from 0 0 occurs, from 20 from 50 occurs. The cases that occurs are, firstly I am able to see that I can just make a 25. I can make a 25. I can make a 25. Okay. For me to make a 25, my take 25's first, take 25's first would be carrying its I as 0 and its j as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5. Okay, and for me to make another number that is 75 also, I can make a 75. So 75. For 75, I am having my I as 0, 1, 2, and my j that remains 5 as well. Okay. Now comes the major thing. We need to minimize the operations or minimize the deletions. So for us to minimize the deletions, what I did is, please check the number of integers in between them, and you have received your answer. And after that also what we need to delete. For example, for 25, for making my last digits as 25, I need to erase this portion and this portion. Done? Super good. So that accounts for 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So for this case, I need to delete 5 integers. Okay, my answer is 5 for this case. And for this case, for 75, I need to delete 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. For me to make my last digits as 75, I need to delete these two and this. Hence 3. I will just take the minimum of these two, and that is my answer. Okay, so the minimum deletions I would require is 3. Is that it? So far so good. Now the major issue, what if, sir, what if I am having a 7 here also? Okay, a 7 here also. What would that be? What shall we do in that case? If you just see my for loop, if you just see my for loop, what am I doing is, firstly go into from 0 till nums of size, take a temporary integer 1 and temporary integer 2. Okay, temporary integer 1, temporary integer 2, set flag 1 false, flag 2 false. Why? You will see here. If you found the first character, okay, if you found the first character, like for example, where is for 75, that is down below, but you can just example, you can just visualize it for the 0 0 portion. If you just found the first 0, then just make temp1 equals to I at the moment you found that 0. Okay, then make flag 1 true. Now iterate from I plus 1 till the size of the string, and if that in that range, if in that I plus 1 till nums dot size, that minus 1 range, you found another integer or another number that is equal to the second character, okay, the second character, then please do make temp2 is equals to that index and flag 2 is equals to true. If you had found both of them, in that case only our flag 1 and flag 2 would be true, and if that is true, then please do push back, or please do just assign my temp1 as take 0's first character and take 0's second character. Or if that would have been the case of 75, then firstly I would have been iterating over, and firstly I would have found this 7, and correspondingly I would have found this 5. Okay, then I would have gone to this 0, nothing much, then I would have gone to this 7 and I would have received another 7. I would have updated my temp1, I would have updated my temp1 to this 7's index. I would have found, and I would have updated my flag 1 to true. Okay, I would have found in the inner for loop this 5. I would have updated my temp2 to this 5 is the index, and my flag 2 is true, and I would have updated my overall take 7's index and take 5's index of first and second character respectively, and rest is I have explained it. And yeah, I hope the logic was clear, and the discussion was also clear and in depth. I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, we'll be meeting in the next video. If you have any doubts, please do comment it down in the comment section. I'll be just pasting my link or giving the link to my code in the description. Please do check it out for both of the questions. We'll be meeting in the next video. Till then, bye and